Community calls for school superintendent's removal in Readfield. Community demands superintendent's dismissal in Readfield School District. A growing wave of discontent has swept through the Readfield area school district as residents rally for the removal of Superintendent Jay Charette following his controversial decision to discontinue a waiver that allowed a beloved middle school principal to remain in his position without having completed required credentials. This public outcry has manifested in a change.org petition, which explicitly blames Charette's leadership style for driving away valuable staff members from Regional School Unit 38. This petition marks the second such community initiative in recent weeks. The first emerged in July, when residents began gathering signatures to advocate for Rick Cirrus, the middle school principal whose employment waiver Charette declined to extend a full year before Cirrus' contract was scheduled to conclude. Following that initial petition, community members took to social media platforms demanding the school board convene a special session where they could present their case for reinstating Cirrus. In response to mounting pressure, a special meeting has been scheduled for August 13th at 6:30 p.m. in the middle school cafeteria, located at 2100 Millard Harrison Drive in Readfield. The agenda includes addressing summer resignations and discussing an interim leadership arrangement for the middle school. This development comes in the wake of Charette's announcement on the district's website last Friday that Cirrus had submitted his resignation, effective immediately. As an interim measure, Maranacook Community High School Principal Michelle LaForge has assumed responsibility for the middle school beginning Monday, while officials conduct a search for Cirrus' permanent replacement. According to an official statement on the district's website, Principal LaForge's work will help to prepare the middle school, district, and community for a thorough and intentional search for the next middle school principal. The immediate goal, as a team, will be to ensure that the return of the students to both the middle school and high school will be seamless while maintaining our mission of being welcoming and dedicated to excellence. The specific reasoning behind Charette's decision not to renew Cirrus' waiver remains shrouded in mystery. The superintendent has consistently characterized it as a confidential personnel matter and declined further elaboration. Under the waiver's conditions, Cirrus was obligated to pursue a master's degree, though his progress toward this qualification remains unclear. Attempts to reach Cirrus' legal representation for comment on Monday were unsuccessful. But here's where it gets particularly interesting. According to Cirrus' contract, which Charette provided following a Freedom of Access Act request, termination prior to the contract's expiration date could be mutually agreed upon by both parties. The latest petition, initiated by Dominique Taylor, has garnered over 200 signatures in less than a week on change.org. Its message strikingly parallels concerns expressed by more than 100 teachers in a union survey conducted earlier this spring. We have witnessed dedicated educators and administrators leaving our district because they cannot thrive in an environment where their voices are silenced, the petition declares. The employees who have left are known for their commitment to education and their focus on the students. Yet they have been driven away by an administration more concerned with image than reality. This sentiment finds powerful reinforcement in the spring survey, where nearly all of the more than 100 RSU 38 staff respondents indicated they lack confidence in Charette's leadership abilities. The comprehensive survey, developed collaboratively by the Maranacook Teachers Union and the board's communication committee, was distributed to 223 individuals and received 101 responses from staff across elementary, middle, and high school levels. The survey emerged as a response to an earlier teacher union survey that both the board and Charette had refused to recognize as official. When Dan Holman, now a retired teacher, attempted to discuss this initial survey during public comments at a previous school board meeting, Charette controversially claimed that Holman's mention of the survey constituted an illegal act. Holman, who was recently elected to represent Mount Vernon on the RSU 38 school board, expressed disappointment that requests to schedule the special meeting weren't addressed more promptly. It was a chance for the board to have input and act on a decision that they were not informed about, Holman remarked. It's regrettable that they were not willing to move it to another day. The spring survey, which the Kennebec Journal obtained, collected feedback from over 100 staff members across all district schools, with teachers comprising 80% of respondents. Just under half of participants worked at one of the district's 4 elementary schools, while 31% were from the middle school, and the remainder represented the high school. The survey was reviewed by the board's communication committee, and changes were made prior to the survey being sent out, based on recommendations by the committee. It was then sent out from the association to all staff members, explained Jill Plord, who serves as president of the teachers' union. In her capacity as union president, Plord declined to comment specifically on the situation involving the middle school principal. The survey results paint a stark contrast between staff perceptions of building-level leadership versus district administration. In response to the statement, "I trust and respect my superintendent," 26% of respondents strongly disagreed, 24% remained neutral, and only 13% strongly agreed. Conversely, when presented with the statement, "I trust and respect my principal," an overwhelming 67% of respondents strongly agreed, 18% agreed, and a mere 2% strongly disagreed. Additional survey questions assessed whether staff felt their principals and superintendent fostered constructive relationships and demonstrated respectful behavior. 60% of respondents strongly agreed that the 4 principals cultivate constructive relationships with staff, while 72% believed principals consistently display respectful behavior. Regarding the superintendent, opinions were dramatically divided. Approximately 30% agreed or strongly agreed that Charette maintains constructive relationships with staff. Another 30% expressed neutrality, and the remaining 30% disagreed or strongly disagreed. When asked if the superintendent demonstrates respectful behavior, 30% agreed or strongly agreed, 25% remained neutral, and a significant 44% disagreed or strongly disagreed. When approached for comment on Monday, Charette declined to address the survey results. Sean Roderick, who chairs the RSU 38 board, did not respond to an email inquiry seeking additional information about the upcoming special meeting. What do you think about this situation? Is the community justified in calling for leadership changes, or should the superintendent be given more opportunity to address these concerns? Share your thoughts in the comments below.